Hi, so yeah, my name is Douglas Allan. I'm an engineer in the StrathSDR team, and I'm just going to give you a quick overview on private 5G networks in the Glasgow Underground as part of the 5GRailNext project. So as Bob said, this was an international collaborative project between UK and South Korean partners. It was funded by DCMS, and it looked to demonstrate just 5G enabled internet connectivity for passengers on the subway trains, Glasgow, and there was a twin demonstrator in South Korea. And it also looked at the demonstration of 5G enabled AR and MR applications for the delivery of infotainment and advertising content on the subway train. So here's just some of the partners as well that were involved. The network that we deployed inside the Glasgow subway could be described as a mobile hotspot network. So it consisted of two parts, a 5G standalone network which connected the platform to the train, and then this offloaded to an onboard Wi-Fi network through which the end user could connect to the internet. Just kind of an overview in this diagram here. As many will be familiar with the Glasgow subway, there's 15 stations. There's two circular tracks, an inner circle and an outer circle. And what we did was we just aimed to connect two stations together. Buchanan Street and St. Enoch's would be covered by our 5G network, and that would give us connectivity from the platform to the train. So it's a fairly straight portion of the track, 500 meters in length. And you can see just there, that's the tunnel connecting the two stations from the perspective of Buchanan Street there. So that was kind of the goal of what we were trying to achieve. This was the design of the network that we came up with. So we had a 5G packet core and a single cell G node B, and that was a local packet core, and it was a 5G standalone network. This is some of the radio hardware, which you can actually see here as well: baseband unit and remote radio head. An antenna that we used to build our single cell G node B. We used some spectrum in the N78 band between 3.3 and 3.8 gigahertz, and a bandwidth of 20 megahertz, 2x2 MIMO. And attached to that, we had our 5G UE, and this was actually deployed inside the train. So this was the base station, if you like, was deployed in the platform, and the UE was actually deployed inside the train. And for that, we used a SIM 8200 modem. It was based on the Qualcomm X55. And then we just had a NUC, a little Intel NUC that acted as a gateway between the 5G network and the Wi-Fi network that was on board the train. We connected through to the internet through the SPT network and then into the internet. And we think this was one of the first 5G standalone deployments in a public environment in the UK. So here's just some of the pictures of us installing the different components. On the left here, we see this is where we placed our base station antenna, just above a platform information sign at Buchanan Street. You can see some of the cabling being fed up above the ceiling panels there. And we just had the remote radio head deployed in a sort of convenient place above the ceiling panel there, as you can see in the middle. And then we had various cables, the fiber cable for carrying data and the power cable for the radio head. We had to that was the most challenging bit. It's just getting those routed through the cable trays into a room just at the back of at the end of the platform where we had the baseband unit deployed. The onboard equipment, on the day of the trial, we did a sort of final trial. All the onboard network equipment we rolled on in a Peli case onto the carriage at the back of the test train that we used. And we also deployed separately, we deployed the 5G UE and its antenna just in a driver's cabin at the back of the train. We planned to do a public trial of the network, but due to COVID, it had to be a sort of non-public trial, just with members of the project team and some colleagues. And during the trial, we made a successful video call while in the tunnel between Buchanan Street and St. Enoch's to the project manager, who was based in London. And all the trialists that participated were able to interact with the AR advertising application that was developed along with the connectivity solution, just using through headsets and handsets. So yeah, 5GRailNext involved one of the design and deployment of one of the first 5G standalone mobile networks in the UK in a public environment. It was all enabled by software-defined radio technology and shared spectrum. We successfully demonstrated the internet connectivity between or in the tunnels, which is something that doesn't exist already. And we also showed some of these innovative AR applications while traveling on the train. Yeah, and we hoped that the project showed that some 5G enabled connectivity and technologies can improve the passenger experience and maybe open up some avenues for companies and brands to engage with potential customers in a more interactive manner. So I think that's me. Thank you.